Hi, for my reading engagement one, I decided to go with option 4, which is a short biographical talk. And I'm going to do mine on Raymond Carver. We had an assignment due today, or this week, I believe it was discussion post, and we got to choose 2 topics, and I decided to write about his writing style and how people view it as lazy. But being able to research him and to research his life, I was able to connect to his writing a little bit more and get an understanding of why he writes in the way he does. And I was able to see some ways he connects his personal life to his short stories. So the short story that we read was The Cathedral, and when reading the story of The Cathedral, you don't see pain or alcohol abuse that the author has dealt with in the past. I was able to research Raymond Carver and see that in many of his short stories, you see that he uses alcohol in an abuse kind of way. I was looking at 3 different stories, and a lot of the main characters had problem with alcohol and used it in an abusive way, as Raymond himself actually had an alcoholism problem throughout his whole life. And so he added that to his stories and pain and to a lot of his short stories. In the context of the stories, all of them had type of alcohol abuse. The only short story that didn't have alcohol in a negative way was The Cathedral. We do see alcohol being used to bring together 2 men to ease the nerves of the husband in the story. So in the story, we see that the husband and Robert are sitting, and they bring out alcohol to drink, and also they were smoking weed just to calm the nerves of the husband, because he had been very uptight about this whole situation of meeting this guy. And yeah, so in the short story, there isn't a lot of pain being shown directly. We can see, though, that the husband and wife aren't on the same page always, as the husband is blind to his wife's need and don't really see that. And it was ironic because Robert, who's actually blind, can perceive them and kind of fulfill those in through the audio recordings. And so what the husband lacked, Robert kind of picked up the slack for, so the wife never really lacked that emotional deficit. And as in for pain, we don't really see direct pain or cause of pain, but we do see that jealousy has brought a space in the relationship that the husband has with the wife. We do get to see this the story ending where the husband and Robert do grow a relationship, and we can see that this ties into the author's life, Robert Carver's real life, because Robert did go through a lot of pain, times of confusion and abuse, but was able to break through that and truly get to a better side of his life and start to write short stories, which was very beneficial for him in the long run. And so those were the 2 aspects that I was able to bring together and see how he added that into his short stories, and just to connect. Even though his writing is a little different and is harder to read, you do get to see his personality through some of the characters that he did write about, and through The Cathedral you can see that he did try to tie himself into those characters, which gives you a better perspective of how he writes and why he writes the way he does. And so that was very interesting to me, and just to be able to kind of connect with Raymond and to see that he has a purpose of the way that he writes was intriguing. It's definitely wouldn't be my first thing to pick up, but being able to kind of get the background of where he's come from and his pain and what he's gone through really connects me more to his stories, and to see that, it did end well for him, and many of his stories do end kind of on a shinier note, like his life. He is living, or the life that he did live. He was able to turn around his life, and get to a better outcome from pushing through. Thank you.